It's tough. This is tough, eh? How was your ride?
Oh, that was bad.
That was torture.
Yeah, but it's such a... I think in the end, all worth it for all the views at Tam Yang. And I like the climbs. Now when I look back, I like the climbs, not when I was doing the climbs.
You say worth it. One die. Okay, so today we are very fortunate enough to have Leash in the house. And he did a very good article, which I'll put the link around here and in the description, you can click on it. So it's about, is it legal to actually cycle in Malaysia? So and I think before I go more into the topic of conversation, Leash, can you introduce yourself? What do you do and how do you get addicted into cycling?
Hi Melvin, hi everyone. My name is Leashy, Leash.cycling. I've been a lawyer all my life in terms of my working life. I've been a lawyer now for close to 18 years. Then as part of trying to get healthy, I'm proudly a COVID cyclist.
Hooray!
Yeah!
Hooray to all the COVID cyclists!
That's right. So because of COVID, started to pick up cycling because of a hybrid bike. Then wanted to go further. And almost exactly the year to date, June of last year, I've been doing a road bike, going further and further, exploring all these beautiful places. And that's how I pretty much got addicted because, meeting wonderful people, seeing all these sights in Malaysia I've never seen before or even heard before. Tam Yang, for example. So that's how I've been going deeper and deeper. So every weekend, out cycling.
He's cycling addict me.
That's right.
Okay, so now we're gonna ask Leash, since he's a lawyer and all, it's so relevant because of COVID, so many cyclists come on the road and a lot of them don't really follow the ethics, and it's good that bike shops are organizing a lot of rides, which then I also mentioned I think it's time that bike shops and also clubs and all start to reintroduce road ethics and road safety. Right, because a lot, and like I noticed even today's ride, some cyclists I feel is a bit dangerous, but I mean, there's always room to improve. I think it's more to, if you're watching this video, do understand that if you are otai, please teach people how to ride ethically. If you're not, it's good to learn. So now, Leash, I want to ask you one question. Right? In terms of legality, since you're a lawyer, is it actually, how to say, legal? Because I think the biggest controversy is two things during COVID. Can we actually cycle on highways and all, so what's that all about?
Yeah, so one thing I would have to say, to set the context right, we have actually very, very outdated road safety, road transport laws. And nothing very, very specific to govern cyclists and biking. So a lot of it is a mishmash of laws that kind of cater to cars, vehicles. You see certain things like micro-mobility vehicles.
Even becha.
Yeah, exactly, like Trishaw, all that. So we don't kind of fit in a nice category. But maybe one thing I'll emphasize is that yes, definitely very legal for us to ride on roads. My view as well is, subject to one strong condition, is that yes, you can ride on highways, but you have to be very careful because there's a very specific road law that says the moment there's a signboard that tells you that cycling bars a certain kind of access to the highway, then that's definitely, you'll be in breach of the law, and then you'll be subject, it's a very, very specific section. So say for that, yes, you can ride on roads, yes, you can extend to highways. No, you're not only bound to actually just go onto, let's say, the motorcycle lane, but two important things as well. You have to pretty much ride single file. That's again an indication of very outdated laws. They just say you must ride single file, no exceptions. Right? Multi-lane, single lane, small road, must ride single file. Not very realistic, I think, so a lot of the times. And importantly, especially if you're on the bigger roads, technically no one can ride on the emergency lane. So a lot of us cyclists also, sometimes I may see people veer into the emergency lane. So subject to that, I'm trying to give you some indication, I guess, of the road laws.
But you made a very good point. Like you indicate that we are actually allowed, technically we are allowed legally to cycle anywhere.
Correct.
Even walkway, because there's no law saying we can't.
Actually, no. Pedestrian walkway, we as cyclists are actually barred from going onto the footpath. Yeah, so you can't go onto all those footpaths, all those walkways.
So,
yeah.
but any other roads is technically legal unless there's a signboard saying it is not.
That's right.
So then my question to you is this. A lot of these signboards cannot be seen. It's so small and you're looking at like 3-lane or 4-lane highway and there's only like a 2-footer sign saying you can't cycle. Who can see?
Exactly, you're right. And sometimes, I'll give a key example. The only highway which I've kind of seen because of social media, Lata Expressway, right? One big sign. But it depends again on when, you know, a so-called cyclist kind of entered the expressway. You have seen it right at the very start, just right off GCE.
Yep.
But if someone else has somehow taken from some other route, you don't see the signboard, how do you know? And I guess it's a lot also about, you know, education. People need to know more about the laws, you know, maybe the highways or the expressways need to kind of educate more.
Or maybe the municipal councils or JKR or whoever lah, should actually put more signboard where they know it's not safe to cycle.
Yeah.
Where there's actually a cyclist hotspot.
Yeah.
In all the junction, I think as taxpayers, you know, as cyclists we don't pay road tax, but we are all working adults here. We do pay tax one way or another.
Yes.
I think it's only fair that, you know, they put some road signs here lah.
Yeah.
Or maybe create an app where you can't cycle.
And I think it's as simple also. I mean, I give an example, right? I was trying to do, or like I see a lot of my friends down from the causeway. Of course, Singapore is far smaller, but if you have to compare, let's say Singapore as a city compared to, like, you know, Kuala Lumpur, Selangor, yeah, there they publicize on websites, they try to create educations, they try to work together with cyclists. So for example, they'll say, okay, we will allow between 5 a.m. to 11 a.m. specifically, right? If you want to do...
That's a good point.
Yeah, you know, so it's more of like hard law, soft law. It's not all about, okay, the law is this, I expect you to know the law. No, they try to work together with cyclists, create the education, put it on an easy to read website. Yeah.
So if there's anybody working in the government or in power, if you're watching this video, I hope you do. If you're not, please share it out so hopefully they do see it. I think like what Lee says is correct lah. The government should work with cyclists instead of making it difficult, because we are not evil people. In fact, I think healthy cyclists, if the community becomes cyclists and they're all healthy, it's good for the government because you reduce your healthcare costs.
That's right.
It's a lot of things that benefits them.
So maybe one thing is not just working with cyclists. I think it's about understanding, you know, I even when I wanted to know how many cyclists are out there, when are peak periods. And there was one thing, again, I tried to draw an example from Singapore. I mean, not everyone needs to be a hardcore road cyclist, but there they in fact pass an act. They call it Active Mobility Act to try to encourage, right, park connectors. You need to ride on bicycle lanes. When is it that you have, you know, it's all about trying to encourage exactly what Melvin said, right? More healthy living. You know, you see a lot of these car-free zones now that's happening in Selangor, KL. So I think that we are seeing that move, and I'm amazed by seeing cities get transform into, right, bicyclist friendly, family friendly.
Skaters also.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so fun.
We're seeing that shift. So I think it's just a matter of time. And yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing more of that.
Okay, so that's that. So now my next question is this. The next thing is, what happens if you are caught, spotted by a police and they stop you as a citizen that is cycling, and the police want to, you know, make it difficult for you? What can we do as cyclists?
Okay, I think the most important thing is just fully cooperate with the police. I guess, again, to set the context, let me warn you what the police can or cannot do, right? So one thing is that, yes, they could potentially try to fine you on the spot. Fingers crossed, but under the laws, they can actually seize or detain your bike for purposes of investigation. And, you know, very heartbreak lah for a lot of us cyclists, right?
They're not going to take care of your bike.
Yeah, correct, right? So definitely, yeah, if you ever stopped, you know, just completely stop your bike, don't get into any arguments. Fully cooperate, just show whatever identification that you may have. And again, you can always ask questions, right? What is it that you're being stopped for? Try to cooperate, answer any questions. And yes, again, I guess two things they could do. One is that they'll issue you a fine right away. Two, fingers crossed they don't, but it's something what you may have to appear in court to then further explain it, right, to the magistrate judge, or, you know, kind of like a judge. So, but yeah, just fully cooperate, be very polite. Everyone's just doing their job, and, you know, through my article, hopefully I also set out. I wanted to kind of set it up for both cyclists as well as, you know, other road users. We can actually see more about. We should know more about our laws.
Come.
Ben, so sweet. Ben, so sweet. Cheers, man. Cheers. God bless you. Ben, so sweet. Okay, so thanks, bro. So technically, it means if the police stop you, you can't do anything. That's a very good point. Then I think the only thing you can do is to take the summon, go to court and justify what happened, and hopefully the judge pass a lenient.
That's right.
There's no point going hoo-ha over this.
That's right. Yes.
Don't post on social media. Let's not make anything viral unnecessary as a cyclist. I feel. Okay, so next thing. On bicycle, then they say you need lights and bells and all this and all that. So what's that all about?
Yeah, so this is what the law strictly says, and on the grounds of not trying to self-incriminate myself, I won't say whether I fully comply with what the strict law is, but you must have brakes on both sides of your wheel, for both of your wheels.
Fixie cannot.
Actually, yeah, you need to have brakes working independently on each wheel, so you can't. So that's why actually I think that's how the bicycle lajak and all that will get caught because they don't have brakes at all, or they may not have functioning brake one or another. Brakeless brakes, lights you must have. Interestingly enough, I always assume that you needed lights on all the time, or we always do it for safety. But it's only during the time of sundown, the sunset all the way to sunrise, so during the dark hours, you must have visible white light in the front, and you must have a very visible red light at the back. And third,
so it means for lights, if it's like daytime like now,
yes,
so
exactly.
bright, you don't need lights.
You don't need lights. Actually, the law doesn't require lights. And in fact, I tried to look at other countries. That's about the same in other countries. I think both in the UK and Singapore. It's meant to be during the darkness, but of course, you all want to be, more proactive to have, daylight, flashing lights. It's more safety, but that's not really required by the law.
Yeah, there's no right or wrong, but no harm having
Exactly. Yeah. But of course, then third and foremost, all of us are supposed to have a bell on our bike. And again, to set the background to this was something I think set out in 1959, 1960, and they've never since updated that particular rule. So make sure you have a bell, or at least the law requires us to have a bell. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So then now, the question goes to this. During the COVID time, then in Putrajaya, a lot of virals happening where police or people stopping cyclists say, hey, or even like municipal councils just doing lectures and say, hey, and stop cyclists, say, hey, you need bell, you need lights, blah, 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 blah. So then, actually, can an officer or a government representative stop a cyclist and warn them of not having this thing?
Yes.
Since legally, by law, we don't need to on it, but we need bell. Let's say we don't have lights in the daytime. Is it legally?
Actually, you're right. I think I have seen, in fact, you're right, Melvin. I think I have seen during police road stop, they were not checking whether my lights were on, but they were just trying to check whether even I had lights on. In fact, I did that, I think, somewhere off Federal Highway before. So, again, I guess, if it's just a warning, if it's just a conversation, if it's just part of, education that they want to give to the cyclist, just say, okay, Tuan, thank you very much, all this, but strictly speaking, again, hopefully it doesn't have to escalate to you ever getting a lawyer. But so you don't actually have to have your lights actually on or flashing during the daytime.
So what I've learned today is if a police has stopped you, just comply, no need to argue with him. The only thing you can do is, now that you should read leash articles, very important, because with all those articles you have power. So when you go to court, you just tell the judge, actually based on this section is actually written blah 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 blah. You might not even need a lawyer, but just prove your point and hope judge give you leniency.
That's right.
But at the end of the day, I think judge will overrule whatever.
You're right. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, next thing that I read something very interesting in your article. Helmets.
Yeah, I was quite surprised as well. Helmets are not mandatory. Helmets are completely not mandatory.
This video not good lah.
But again, one thing very, very good in the community I see, I think 99.9% of the cyclists we've always seen all wear helmet. It's both a community thing, a bike shop thing, we all watch out for each cyclist. No helmet, no ride.
Yeah, group. All group rides is it's written there. No lights, no bell, no water, no helmet, no ride.
No ride. Yeah. So, but the law doesn't require any mandatory helmet, not for cyclists. For those cyclists, yes, there's explicit law for that. And in fact, worldwide, I think interestingly enough, worldwide, again, there's no uniform rule worldwide as well. Some people feel,
that's why Holland no helmet.
That's right, no helmet. I think even the UK, no helmet. So again, but just to let you know,
interesting,
law here in Malaysia.
But wear helmet lah. I mean, I think it was 2 weeks ago, a cyclist in Putrajaya fell down and had a concussion even though he had a helmet.
Yes.
So I don't know what happened to him. I hope the gentleman's okay. But I think helmet is important. You don't wear it for impracticality. You wear it for safety and also to not only protect you, to protect your family who's at home. Anything happens to you, your family will be the one suffering because you're on the hospital bed.
Yes.
So that's my point. So this is a very interesting topic.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So end of the day, I think to sum it up, our legal system, even though it's outdated, doesn't mean we take it for granted. Do practical cycling, logical cycling, use common sense, and don't argue with the police. Try not to get viral.
Yeah, and I think, all that I'm looking forward to is that yeah, hopefully through this video, through the article, again, right, to educate both cyclists and also non-cyclists, so that everybody knows, what does the law require. Let's all practice more. We ourselves as cyclists, we practice safer cycling. The other road users, the cars, are also going to be watching out, more watchful for us as cyclists.
Red light means stop.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and but ultimately, I think we do need, from a lawyer perspective, from me reading the law, I'm looking forward to a more updating of the laws, make it a bit more in line, I guess, with gold standards, I guess, around the world.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So I think that's about it. If you have any question and you need a lawyer's advice, I won't say you message him. I'm not going to put his Instagram link unless you want me to put his Instagram, because he's going to be flooded. But what you can do is, I think, in the conversation down in this YouTube channel, just ask any question there. If Leash have time, or I'll ask him as well. We will try to be proactive within the conversation.
Yeah. Happy to do that.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, we are just doing this for the community.
That's right.
Much love, you guys. Take care, Leash. And thank you so much for
Thanks,
your expertise.
Melvin.
So fun to have a lawyer on board. Take care, you guys, and God bless.
Bye.